Is Gerrit Cole one of the top pitchers or even the best pitcher in Major League Baseball right now? What's up, guys? Welcome to the video. I'm going to ask you right now, if you really like this video and you like some of our other stuff, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Really appreciate that. Drop a comment what other videos you'd like us to do. But right now we're going to get into, is Gerrit Cole the best pitcher in Major League Baseball right now? So we're going to look at some stats, where he's finished in some awards recently, and some of his competition, age, health, his consistency, and then I think we'll have an answer for you. Gerrit Cole has consistently been one of the top pitchers in Major League Baseball, especially in the last 6 seasons, in which he's finished top 10 in AL Cy Young voting every single season. Yeah, every single season for 6 years straight, top 10. And those finishes include a 5th place, a 2nd place, in which he also finished 10th in AL MVP voting, which is insane, a 4th place, another 2nd place, a 9th place, and then just this past year where he finally captured his first Cy Young win ever. So, just to clarify though, we know the baseball writers have a history of not always getting everything right. So we're not going to take that totally into consideration, but it is something to consider. It's a major award, and he's been placing top 10 in it consistently in the past 6 years, every single season. So, not everything, but it's something. Now, let's get into some of the stats. The first stat that I'm going to look at is earned run average, or ERA. And it's an important stat, even though a lot of people are beginning to devalue it a little bit because it doesn't factor in defense that the team is playing behind him. So sometimes it's not always the pitcher's fault, but sometimes he gets the blame for it anyway. Now, ERA is one of the simplest stats to understand and one of the quickest to look at just to gauge how good a pitcher is. Usually around the low 3 areas, you're considered pretty elite, pretty good. You get below 3, you're talking really good. Below 2, you're having an historic season, that's for sure. So, with that being said, in this 6-year stretch that I mentioned, Gerrit Cole is 5th in ERA with a 2.93 ERA in that time frame. So that came behind some pitchers like Jacob deGrom, who we all know, phenomenal pitcher, 2.08 ERA. Justin Verlander had a 2.51 ERA in this stretch. Clayton Kershaw, a 2.77 ERA. And then Max Scherzer's 2.84 ERA in this 6-year time frame. So Gerrit Cole's not first, but 5th. And that's very impressive to be very consistent over 6 years in a row. Great. All these pitchers, awesome guys. So they're all in the conversation for who's the best. But let's get into another stat that will help Gerrit Cole's case out a lot, I would say. And an important thing to look at when considering how good a pitcher is how many innings can he pitch? How deep into games can he go? And how long in the season is he able to perform at the top level? If a guy's great, but doesn't pitch at many innings in each game, you're only getting, let's say, 4, 4.5, 4, 5, 6 innings in a game from him. And that's good. But some of the top tier guys in the game are able to go 7 innings, 8 innings, and you don't see it quite as much these days, but Gerrit Cole's one of the best at it, going 9 innings, pitching a complete game. Don't see that happen like a lot, like I said, but Gerrit Cole's one of the best at it. So, in the past 6 seasons, Gerrit Cole has pitched the most innings out of anybody. The Yankees ace has 1,076 and 2/3 innings pitched in this time frame. Like I said, best in Major League Baseball in that span. It averages out to about 179 innings pitched per season, and 200 is considered pretty much elite and a guy who's known to be a workhorse for your team. Gerrit Cole, 179, pretty much one of the best in baseball. Now, so far we've determined that Gerrit Cole has one of the best and lowest ERAs in baseball in this 6-year stretch that he's on right now, and he's able to pitch deep into games and deep into seasons with a lot of innings pitched, the best in baseball at it. But another important thing to consider for pitchers nowadays is how many strikeouts do they get. And Gerrit Cole is one of the best, probably the best in baseball at striking batters out. Now, you would say, well, what's it matter if they strike them out or if they ground out to second base? A case could be made for that strikeouts don't matter, but let me say this. If you're able to strike a batter out, you're not giving him a chance for an error to happen, for the ball to loop in somehow. You're striking him out, swing and miss. It's a definite out every time, unless you're going to rare drop third strike case. But for the most part, it's a guaranteed out every single time. And Gerrit Cole is one of the top, like I said, top pitchers in Major League Baseball at this. In this 6-year stretch, Gerrit Cole leads all of Major League Baseball with 1,418 strikeouts. That's a full 200 strikeouts more than second place Max Scherzer. Now, 200 strikeouts. Is that a lot? Is that a little? That is a lot. 200 strikeouts used to be considered pretty well elite. Now, Gerrit Cole has set the standard pretty high, consistently going over 200 strikeouts each year throughout his career, even having a season where he had over 300 in a season. And now the bar has been raised a little bit, but 200 still a very important mark per season. And Gerrit Cole has more than a full season's worth of strikeouts in the same 6-year span than the second place pitcher. Yeah, he's pretty good at striking guys out. I'd say so. So, Gerrit Cole, elite strikeout artist, great ERA, and an absolute horse on the mound, going deep into games and deep into the season. So what's up next then for him? The final stat we're going to look at here is called WHIP. Walks and hits per innings pitched. So, how many walks plus how many hits does Gerrit Cole give up per inning pitched? In his case, he's pretty good at it. He's got the tied for the third best WHIP in this 6-year time frame that we're talking about, behind Jacob deGrom and Justin Verlander in that stretch. So this means that it's important to not give up runs, but a true dominant pitcher isn't allowing anybody on the base paths. He isn't giving up hits. He's not issuing walks. And Gerrit Cole is one of the best at that too. So you can say, Matt, you didn't deep dive into any of the analytics, the deeper stats. You're correct. I didn't. Some of those I don't understand as well. And these are pretty easy to explain and just gives you a rough guess, a rough estimate of how good a pitcher is. And they're the stats that have traditionally been used for a while, so I'm sticking with them for right now. But yes, ERA, WHIP, innings pitched. My pretty well 3 go-to stats that I look at when considering how good a pitcher is. And as we just determined, Gerrit Cole is one of the top pitchers in the 3 stats that I used. WHIP, ERA, and how many innings pitched he's thrown. Top 5 at the worst in ERA, and the best when it comes to innings pitched. Oh, and strikeouts too. The best at strikeouts. So, where do you go from there? He's top 3, top 5-ish for some of these stats. So, Matt, there's some pitchers who are ahead of him that are better than him. So, why would you be making the case that Gerrit Cole is the best? Well, this is where I think Gerrit Cole can separate himself a little bit. Jacob deGrom, who I said is better than him as some of the stats in ERA, and better than him in WHIP, and pretty close in strikeouts. He's an elite pitcher. This is where Gerrit Cole separates him from Jacob deGrom first. Health. Jacob deGrom is consistently dealing with elbow injuries, forearm injuries, shoulder injuries, all kinds of injuries throughout his whole career. With the Mets, and even since he signed with the Rangers, he's already going to have to get surgery again. And he's not going to pitch in 2024 at all. Gerrit Cole, on the other hand, consistently going out there, does not get injured. Like I said, this plays into the innings pitched, consistently going deep into games and going deep into the season. Gerrit Cole hasn't had a major injury in a long time. He's had a hamstring here or there, but other than that, he doesn't really have any stints on the IL compared to some of these guys. Specifically, Jacob deGrom is who I'm looking at here. And that's why I'm going to have to eliminate Jacob deGrom from the conversation. The best ability is availability, and Jacob deGrom is not available as much as you would like. So yeah, he's pretty elite when he's pitching, but he doesn't pitch enough. He's just not out there going every single 5 days, whatever your rotation looks like Gerrit Cole is. Like I said, just saw it this year with Jacob deGrom. We got a handful of starts from him, and then forearm tightness, elbow issues, whatever it was. And now he's going for surgery, not pitching in 2024, whereas Gerrit Cole, as I mentioned, won the Cy Young in 2023 and is heading into 2024 as the Yankees ace yet again. So like I said, this is where I'm going to have to eliminate Jacob deGrom. One of the other pitchers who was consistently up there top 5 in a lot of stats was Justin Verlander and even Max Scherzer as well. This applies to both of them. Age and peak. Justin Verlander at his peak, one of the best. Prime Justin Verlander won an MVP, I think he has 3 Cy Youngs, and Max Scherzer, very, very elite pitcher, one of the top in the game. But Justin Verlander is going to be turning 41 in February. Gerrit Cole, on the other hand, just turned 33 in September. Gerrit Cole is either at his peak, climbing to his peak, whereas Justin Verlander, and I understand, just 2 seasons removed from winning the Cy Young with the Astros, but this past season with the Mets and Astros, not the greatest. I mean, listen, 3.22 ERA, still great. Didn't pitch as many innings as maybe you're used to seeing from Justin Verlander. Not the most in his career. Dealing with some injuries, climbing up there in age. I don't know. For me, I'm looking for a guy who's younger, and he's going to be able to be one of the top pitchers in the next 2 years. Justin Verlander, I'm not sure if you could say that about him. He's at the point in his career where you wouldn't be surprised if he had a 4 ERA next year. It's like, all right, this guy's 41, he'll be 42 in the following year. You wouldn't be surprised if he retired soon, too. I don't think he's the best pitcher in baseball anymore. JV, he's had his moments. He has been the best pitcher in baseball. That's for sure. I think it might be time, though, to crown Gerrit Cole. I rest my case. Gerrit Cole, elite in ERA, elite in strikeouts, elite in innings pitched, elite in whip. He's consistent, he's available all throughout the season, does not get injured very much, and is either right about at his peak or at his peak right now. Gerrit Cole, elite pitcher, and there you have it, folks. That's why I think Gerrit Cole is the best pitcher in baseball right now. Guys, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment what other players should I dive into, who's the best at what. Let me know in the comments, and I'm definitely taking considerations. But thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you later.